What's our next match, Mr. Anthony?
Yep. All right, so that took us to our main event of the Day 1 Premium Live event, which was Seth, I love this, call yourself this now, Seth Freakin Rollins facing Kevin Owens, facing Bobby Lashley, facing, at that point, the current WWE Champion Big E, and facing a late addition to the match due to Reigns contracting the virus, Brock Lesnar, in a fatal 5-way for Big E's WWE Championship.
Now I'm going to say this before I bagged this match before it even happened. I said, how is this going to work?
I can attest to that.
5-way, this is going to be the biggest piece of shit. And I'd like to say confidently I was wrong. It was a lot better match than I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought this is going to be the biggest fuckery in history. 5 of them all together, right? And I honestly, I think it was a really good match, and I liked the way they used Owens and Rollins working together to take out the number, 3 main guys. I liked it. It was whoever produced this match, they were creative about it. They did a great job, and I think I can honestly say I was probably the best match of the night.
Oh, it was. Absolutely. I agree with you. I loved the double teaming of Owens and Rollins on the others. I thought it was tactically it was smart in terms of the context of the match. These two knew they couldn't do it on their own. They've got together. Let's take them all out and then we'll work it out, sort of thing. All the guys took some brilliant hits and bumps, through the barricades and through the announce tables and the whole bit. You basically got a bit of everything. I'm more, as much as I loved the match, and I understand that obviously booked Lesnar, he was coming there, and then Reigns has got the last minute COVID thing. So they got to do something with him. I was extremely surprised, but at the same time interested that they inserted him into that match and then gave him the title as well.
Well, I thought that personally, everyone was very giving to each other in this match.
Yeah,
everyone gave to each other. There was nobody that wasn't prepared to give or make each other look good. So I thought that made it a great match. 2, this could be a really pivotal match for WWE right, going forward, because you've created so many storylines to come out of this. You've got Seth Rollins and Owens that could be the next big heel tag team. The way they work together, potentials of them being a great tag team is there against RK Bro. Yeah. You've got there's a great chemistry there. You've got Lesnar, Lashley. Everyone's wanted to see these matches for 15 years, right? So that's opened up. You've got Big E that's still in the picture. He's still in the picture in there, to be, I reckon it should go Lesnar, Big E, Lashley, Lesnar, Reigns. That's the way I would see that progression. Yeah. So it'd be, Lesnar, Big E, Lesnar, Lashley, Lesnar, Reigns, So you've got a nice step progression to get. You could stretch this all the way around to SummerSlam comfortably, right? You got Big E that could have then a feud with Lashley and have a decent feud with Lashley, So there's a lot of things that can come out for long-term storylines out of that. So I think it's out of a negative. If they're smart, they've made a great positive.
Yeah, well, yeah. I agree. The first thing I thought of, or one of the first things I thought of, was I'd like to see Owens and Rollins as a tag team.
Oh, for sure.
Because I think they would be great against RKO, and I think they'd be actually good champions.
Yep.
You could put a lot of teams up against them. So that part works, and then with the other 3 still in the main title pictures and whatnot. But did you think it was strange? Not that they put all their eggs in one basket, but basically almost all the eggs are in the Raw basket, and Reigns is sort of a little bit without a substantial opponent, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it might have been the way it worked out. I think that.
I think so.
I don't think that was deliberate. I think that was Reigns got sick. And what do we do here?
But would you put the title on Lesnar? I mean, he could have lost that match without really losing anything.
I think the positives outweigh the negatives with Lesnar taking the belt.
Yeah.
One, you've got Brock Lesnar holding the WWE title.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Two, you've got all the matches that can happen just out of Raw. Three, then you've got champion versus champion.
Which I think is the way it's going to go. I don't know how, but I think that's the way it'll go.
On the other side of the SmackDown side of them, you've got McIntyre in there, right? Is Edge on that side? No.
Yeah.
And they've already wrestled,
Yeah.
Him and Edge.
Yeah,
right?
They did.
Yeah. But you've got McIntyre, and you could probably need to look at their roster, but there's fresh feuds you can make. Because all you need to do is get around to, say, WrestleMania or SummerSlam, and then really the payoff match is Lesnar and him.
Mm.
You know, and if Lesnar contractually something goes wrong, then Lashley can slip into Lesnar's position comfortably. You just do that swap if something went wrong contractually with Lesnar, right? So I think it's a better long-term fit than Big E. Though I think Big E was a great champion in the way that he really suits their mold, their style, that cartoony character, that really suited that they're as a champion for them, right? But I think for long-term booking, I don't think he would have got that mileage out of Big E.
Did you see the promo MVP cut? And I think it might have been the next night on Raw.
Yeah.
I can't just quite remember exactly where it was, but he really, really pumped the tires up of Big E.
Yeah.
Well, he really, it was a Big E and also Lesnar. So he really, really pumped their tires up a fair bit.
And you know why that is? Because his boy's going to go against them at some point.
Yeah.
You know, you should never make your opponent look big.
Oh, God, no.
Promo. You need to make him look big. So when you beat him, you look like you've slayed a giant. So, yeah, I think that's smart from MVP. You know.
And I just think you still got that Heyman card somewhere in there. You know, Lesnar, Reigns, back to Lesnar.
You know,
there's a wee bit going on there.
Well, I don't know if that's changed now because the dynamic has changed too.
Mm.
You know, will they use Heyman? Will Heyman be out earlier than, or maybe out later now? You know, does Heyman bring in Braun Breaker?
Wow,
the new Brock Lesnar.
I think it's a bit early for him yet, but
they did that. They did that straight out of OVW. They brought him straight in, if I remember right. And Lesnar was Heyman was his guy. So maybe he's going to take the new next champion, which will be Breaker.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, Breaker's good, but I don't know that.
Still too early.
I think he's at least 6 to 12 months, maybe.
But with somebody like Heyman in his ear.
Yeah.
You're running through, you know, the Big E's, you're running through the McIntyres, you're running through the
well, it'll be interesting to see what they do with him now that he's got the belt at NXT. I think
generally that's a death nail, isn't it, really? They get that. That's, you know, usually they go straight to the top. They'll hold that belt for a month or so and then go straight to the main roster. Usually. So, you know, I would say that if you were booking, you maybe bring out Heyman and Breaker.
But Heyman's aligned to Lesnar again.
Oh, is he?
Well, he looked like they were. He was out there with them and he had his arm around them while coming back in and all the rest of it.
Never trust Heyman.
Well,
you know, never kiss a snake, as what they say.
Well, something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Me? I gave it an 8.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Half.
Yeah, I liked it.
Anthony?
I gave it a 6.5 because once I saw Lesnar going with the main event, going with coming out last.
Oh, I think we've lost you.
We've lost your volume, buddy.
Have we?
Yeah, you think crack it up.
Scratchy. Well, technical difficulties. But I think
No, yeah, we've lost him for the moment. He'll sort himself out. So, yes, what do you think, Pete? Do anything about the long-term storylines?
Yeah, look, I must admit, I understand what you're saying, and I actually respect what you're saying. I still would love to see, and I don't, but you'd have to be really, really creative in how you did it. But champion versus champion at Mania, but I couldn't see it necessarily happening, some unification type match. Because they did that at NXT. They unified the North American and the other one, the other title, the lightweight title.
Yeah.
And that Carmelo.
Yeah.
Which I don't actually mind the look of him. I think he's got a bit of superstar written all over him.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes, is it?
Yeah, I think so, Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, I actually quite like the
Carmelo Hayes. Yeah.
I actually quite like the look of that kid. I think he's actually got
something. He does.
There's just something about him. I think he could be all right.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. I don't know whether they'd want to unify the belt, create one belt for both brands. To me, I agree with that. To me, all the tags, everything should be unified. One belt, one tag belt, one mid-range belt like your Intercontinental or your US, one World Championship belt. I think have it belted everything. I think it's just,
I think so. I like it. It's almost like having two territories between the both.
Yeah, that's right. But
I don't mind that at all.
How are they going to do it and keep pace?
Yeah,
that's the question. That's the.
Yeah, that would be hard when they've built.
Last time when they did this, if you remember,
it was Jericho.
Yeah, but all the belts were vacant.
Oh.
Remember, it was a three-way for a vacant belts. The heavyweight was vacant, and I think the other one was vacant, or did Austin put his belt up? But it was a three-way.
Yeah.
If I remember right. And the belts were vacant, technically. So nobody, there was no loser. There's nobody who was losing the belt. It was the winner was going to take all. I think it was something along those lines. You're testing my memory now. You could do that, strip everyone, and just start again.
Yeah.
Well, that's the idea we've got at NAW. We stripped everyone to start again.
Yeah, but that's.
Yeah, but I'm saying this, but you could.
We've had a 2-year break. I mean, and we're going to have a completely new roster, and
you bring in the fake new owner, and the fake new owner strips everybody.
Yeah.
It's the Kevin.
Is there any mention of who the new owner is?
No, look, I think that even storyline wise, it'd be good for them to bring in a new owner. Vince sells it to whoever.
Well, remember when Ric Flair had 50% of the company? When they did. Yeah. Remember that thing? And they were both sort of.
Yeah, and that was a good line. That was a good storyline. Yeah. That was good. That was interesting. It kept things, all the time. Vince couldn't get rid of him. He couldn't get rid of him. And the same thing happened, I think, with Dixie Carter and
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah. It works. But if you brought in, let's say Triple H does a coup de grace, right, and takes over everything from behind, and then he just strips everyone and starts it again. Even if Vince still owned it for real.
Yeah. Hard to see doing that.
No, but you could. Because the way the McMahons are, they stab each other in the back in storylines all the time.
Yeah.
So imagine if somehow the Triple H buys up with Vince's own money, company money, shares in the company, and ends up owning 70% of the shares.
Yeah.
Officially now he's the owner. I hasn't seen him for a while. He's been working in the stock market.
Surgery.
Yeah, but he's been having his stock market, and his daughter, Steph has stabbed that in the back too. It's become owners. You could do it. The problem is there's no wrestling creativity at WWE.
Not anymore.
No, they've got writers. They've got Hollywood writers.
Yeah, but they might be great in Hollywood, but it doesn't. Well, I mean, we know
it doesn't translate to WWE.
No,
it doesn't translate. It doesn't translate to Western fan.
Well, we've gone 2 hours, so.
And it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
We talked about a lot of things. I don't know. Are you still with us, Anthony, or are you still?